I can't think of a business that likes their logos more than golf courses. Um, right? If you walk into any pro shop, you can get it on literally anything. And so why not have
Anything.
it on? Yeah, why not have it on a cocktail?
Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to another episode of the Whole Story Podcast. Jonathan, how are you doing? I say how you
And,
doing.
and
We've recorded like 3 of these in a row.
I know it's not like
Um,
this is the first time we've chatted today.
no, we play it off well. No, we're just talking for the first time today. No,
Right, exactly.
the nice part about this is, and what we do, and we'll broadcast this out to any and all of our future guests, is we are flexible to record on your schedule. And by recording, multiple ones on certain days like today, that frees us up for what we like to do. Besides this, is actually go out and play some golf. So,
Yeah,
yeah. So this is
there's
this is our third interview in a row. So, Jonathan, how are you doing?
Yeah, my kids were wondering, like, did I get a part-time job this week? Or we've recorded quite a few. The last end of the week is going to be the other side of what we do, which is we're going to play a little bit of golf. So,
Yes, we are.
not a bad trade-off. Every time it is a broken record. I want to say this: we do not prompt. For those of you who listen to our shows and think the same answer keeps happening on the very last question. We
Yep.
do not prompt the people that we're interviewing. It's not something like we're like, hey, by the way, this is sort of our shtick. It's literally what people are saying. And so it's refreshing to think about all the different folks, the different ways that they approach golf, the different ways that they come to this game, whether it's young, old, business, not business related, whatever it is. And at the end of the day, it has more to do with this type of thing, communicating, being friends, and hanging out with people than it has anything to do with the fact that we all try to swing a stick at a ball.
Yep.
And this happens to be our chosen stick and ball sport. So, uh, just a good afternoon or good morning, good afternoon. And
Yeah.
I'm going to go hit some balls here in a little bit in my yard after we're done.
Absolutely. No, I agree. We do not tell our guests what the questions are. They have and a lot of our guests that we're going to have on have listened to a number of these podcasts. So they kind of at least
Right.
know, because we typically ask similar questions, especially during the quick nine. But that last question, the best part of golf. And yeah, so many people say it's people, it's the relationship, it's the friendships that come from this. And that's the best part of golf for us. Like
Right.
we love it. We're not good enough to say, "Ooh, Jonathan, let me tell you about the 82 I shot today." Nobody cares about that. Hey, you saved bogey instead of double bogey. Nobody cares. But hey, I got to hang out with Jonathan today. I got to hang out with our buddy Andrew Voss, who's going to be coming through town here shortly. Like, that's the stuff that matters. That hopefully 4-ish hours on the course, maybe a little time before and after, where you get to fellowship. That's the best part of the game. And our guest today is another one that we will say, I want to go play golf with Josh
Yeah,
Kaplan. Don't you? Like,
absolutely. Yeah,
yeah,
100%.
yeah. Just such a nice guy, such an interesting guy. Like, great stories, great thing he's doing in the game. Josh is one of the co-founders of Blue Blazer. You can look him up, drinkblueblazer.com, but they do custom beverages for golf. And so I met him at the PGA show, again, all about relationships and connecting with people. Met him. He was there in the Seamus booth with the Seamus branded golf drinks. And so met him and said, this is really cool. I'd seen your stuff. Great to meet you in person. Would you want to come on a podcast and talk about it? And here we go. Now we're friends with Josh Kaplan. What a cool story.
Yeah, and the nice part too, it's another one of those brands, and we talk about this with what we're doing at the Whole Story Podcast. It is nothing to do with us. Like, we get to introduce you to people that we find interesting and listen to their stories. And then the flip side is with their drinks. Their drinks are really created to highlight a local club's favorite cocktail, or as they've got a handful of drinks that are now available online for not for purchase. We found that out. You can't just go online and buy a case of it,
Yeah,
but you
not for consumer
can,
purchase. Yep.
right? But you can through distributors and other courses in different states. They can make that available to you. So, just awesome in terms of how that works and how they're able to promote other people's golf.
Yeah. Well, like you said, it's not only what we do with the Whole Story podcast, but it's what we do with everything best ball related. Is we try to make connections, build community, build relationships. We're doing that with the Best Ball Golf Club, right? So like we are gathering a place for people to get together. Like one of our members who I didn't know prior to that's here in Columbia. Like I'm gonna grab coffee with him in a few weeks, and I'm sure we'll go play some golf together. But as somebody that saw a community that being built, wanted to be a part of it, he just saw it on social media. So I would encourage anybody that's listening, if you're looking for a place both online and hopefully sometimes in person, get together and play and hang out with people that like this thing, that like the relationships that come from golf. Check out what we're doing at the Best Ball Golf Club. It's $5 a month, so it is probably about the same cost as a transfusion at your golf club or a bucket of range balls, but it's a great way to connect. We've got an online Slack community. There's some posts that we do. Jonathan and I will record some quick little kind of personal podcasts for the community. It's a great way to connect again because it's all about relationships. So
Yeah.
it's good, and we think it's for the right people, right? It's not for everybody. It's for people that really value that relationship side of things. So yeah, cool. Jonathan, give a quick shout out to our friends at Summit, please.
Yeah, and speaking of friends, right? Like we're wearing amazing clothing from Summit Golf Brands, but the reality is, I find it just more gratifying, besides putting on a hoodie or a polo, that we're friends with Dan Drollinger. Just moved up in the company, head of marketing. We had a chance to not only meet Billy Dratty, but also bring him on the show to start this season. And we're going down to the Shindig next week to, again, hang out with people that are part of their organization and the community that they bring together. And we'll play a little golf along the way, but more importantly, we've got friends and new people that we'll get to hang out with. Of course, we'll be dressed out in some Summit golf gear, be dratty. And it's going to be like 70, 80 degrees down there in Florida. So I'm sure we'll pull out our polos from the winter stash.
Absolutely. Well, I wear polos all the time anyway when I record these things, just because
Uh,
why not, right? But no, it's a lot of fun. Very thankful to be partnered with them as one of, I guess, their ambassadors. But yeah, and they give people out there listening or watching this 20% off by using Best Ball 20 at any of those websites, Beadratty, Zero Restriction, or Fairway and Green. So go get some good stuff. We highly recommend. But anyway, we've talked long enough. We want to get to our guest and his incredible story. So Josh Kaplan with Blue Blazer. Y'all enjoy this episode. All right. Well, joining us today on the Whole Story podcast, Mr. Josh Kaplan. Josh, how are you today?
I'm doing all right. How are you guys doing?
Where are you? Where are you today? Where's home for you? Or are you on the road?
I am at home for change. I am in Wilmette, Illinois, so just north of Chicago, and I leave tomorrow for Mexico. So, but for work, not for fun.
For work, not for fun. I get you.
well,
Yeah,
but let's not get carried away, because are we talking about your a work, or are we talking about what we're on this
yeah.
podcast
It's a
for work?
fair question. It's for work.
Oh,
So I
okay,
have
okay.
I have several jobs. The one that pays the bills I refer to as work, and that is what's bringing me to Mexico City. And that doesn't have anything to do with golf, unfortunately, but it's I manage a musician. And
Really?
so yeah, and that allows me to do things that are more fun. Music's fun, but
Right.
more in line with golf.
And
That's
then the
awesome.
second question I would have is, you're obviously a Cardinals fan, being from Chicago.
No, I am from Minnesota. And so I am a Twins, Vikings, Timberwolves, Wild
We'll
fan.
allow
Can't
it. We'll
can't
allow
help it.
it.
Yeah. All Minnesota.
I'm from Southern
Jonathan's
Illinois.
yeah, Jonathan's
Oh,
an
okay.
Illinois guy and he's a
Yeah,
Cardinals guy. So if you were to say Cubs, he doesn't have the ability to hit stop on this thing,
right.
but he might
I'm
object.
I might have
No,
left.
I don't care about the National League.
There you go. Oh man, that's awesome. Well, Josh, we will talk about Blue Blazer here. I feel like we could go down the rabbit trail of your managing musicians as
Yeah.
well, but let's back it up because you obviously have a business in the golf space with Blue Blazer.
Yep.
And but we want to back it up to like what got you interested in golf? Did you grow up playing? Did you start at an early age or pick it up
Yeah.
later? So tell us that story.
Yeah. So I grew up in suburbs of Minneapolis in Edina, um, cake eater, whatever you want to call me. But I caddied at Interlochen Country Club, which was, about a half mile away from my house. So from the age of 11, I started caddying, when the bags were all leather. And I think I made it 9 holes on my first attempt out there. I was friends with a classmate of mine who was a member, and his parents were smart, and they're like, "Hey, you should get out there and caddy." And so we did. And from the time I was 11, I caddied there, and it was straight out of Caddyshack. Like we had a caddy banquet every year where you got 15 minutes to swim in the pool. They fed us leftovers from the members the night before. We took a school bus to a Twins game at the Metrodome back then, and the older caddies definitely had a good time. So yeah, I mean that was my summer every summer until I was 21. I worked in the bag room, I worked in the pro shop for a while. Um, I got spoiled because I thought every golf course was like Interlaken, and I could play for free. I remember working in the bag room, and I think we got paid like $6 an hour or something. It was awful. Like the pay was awful. We worked off tips, but we could play golf whenever we were off the clock. And so I just got hooked immediately, and started playing all the time. And then, I went to college in Wisconsin, and then I went to law school here in Chicago, and real life kind of got in the way of my golf pursuits. But um, yeah, over time, I just always played. I always made, good connections, whether it was personal or business on the golf course. And I knew the power from caddying for all these really wealthy people and seeing all the business deals and, shenanigans that went on a golf course. So I knew the power of it. And yeah, then, I can keep fast forwarding up until this Blue Blazer idea came into it. I was obviously my career was in the music side of it, but I was a lawyer, also, yeah, several jobs, like I said. But my law partner at the time was a hospitality attorney, and he had this idea in about 2018, 2019, where he represented a lot of high end bars and restaurants. And they had these amazing cocktail programs. Craft cocktails were just kind of taken off, and they couldn't sell their drinks to go. So the idea was we'll batch, mass quantities of your drinks. We got a license called a rectifier license, allowed us to take alcohol and non-alcohol, mix it, and sell it back to these bars and restaurants. So we would go to a place that had like a really famous Manhattan. We had a guy on our team who could taste that drink and figure out how to make it in large quantities. It was crazy talent. Um, so we did that, and we started getting all the equipment and the gear, raised some money for it in 2019, had a facility here in one of the suburbs here in Chicago, Skokie, um, and had 8 or 9 really good customers, mostly in Chicago. And then the pandemic hit. And so everything shut down, obviously. And then the law changed to allow these bars and restaurants to stay in business. And they were then allowed to sell their drinks to go. So our entire business model was shot, right? Like we didn't know what
Mm,
to do. But at that time, one of the only things that was open was golf, right? Um, and I was spending a lot of time up at Sand Valley, and through a friend got introduced to the Kaisers, and they wound up investing in a different company that I have that is not golf related. And I wound up spending a good amount of time talking to Michael Kaiser Jr. Um, and realized, hey, these drinks that we have are essentially white label, right? Like we're making them, we're putting on the label of the bar or restaurant. They design it, we put on there. I'm like, that works for anybody with a liquor license. So
sure.
I talked to the Sand Valley folks, and they were looking for a transfusion, and we had one, and we kind of had an aha moment, like, oh, this works really well for golf. And I can't think of a business that likes their logos more than golf courses. Um, right? If you walk into any pro shop, you can get it on literally anything. And so why not have
Anything.
it on? Yeah, why not have it on a cocktail? So that was like 2022, 21, somewhere in that range. And there have been a lot of roller coaster moments for this startup, but we kind of realized last year, 2025 PGA show was for us like, oh, this is working, right? And we just need to get into more states, and um, we think we think there's a real chance for this. Um, so yeah, I just that was a lot, but that's that's my history of
That's
golf all
awesome.
the way through Blue Blazer.
Where does the name come from? Because you think Blue Blazer, and you're like, is this a clothing place?
Yeah,
Is this from your lawyer
If you
days?
look at
no,
the website, there's a good about section. I learned this, Jonathan, but I'm excited to have that. That was going to be one of my questions, but go ahead.
yeah. So I mean, uh, I didn't come up with the name, but I do know the history of it is a famous bartender in New York City in I think like the 1850s or 60s had a cocktail that he set on fire, and it was dubbed the Blue Blazer. So it was like the first craft cocktail. Um, and that was the idea. And again, when we started, we had our own Blue Blazer line as well, and we were in some liquor stores and stuff. And we quickly realized that unless we had millions and millions of dollars in marketing, we were not going to be able to compete. And so that's a nice thing. Like Blue Blazer is the name of the company, but nobody really needs to know what it is because we don't use
Right.
our name on the cans. It says distributed by or whatever, but um, we use our partners already established brand to help them sell it.
I thought, Jonathan, something cool about that drink he's talking about was it said made from Scotch water sugar, but it's made while it's on fire. So,
Right.
yeah.
I've
I don't
seen
know
You
if
got to
there's like a
drink it while
blue
it's on
flame
fire.
to it or something. Yeah.
Yeah, something like
I've
But
seen
that.
a drink on fire
that's
before.
when the lawyers come in because somebody drinks something while it's on fire.
Yeah.
I've been
Not
at a
good for
bar and
beard.
saw a drink on fire.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah, I think
it
they
was a
still
bad
do it.
idea.
Yeah.
So, you mentioned the PGA show, and that's where you and I met. You're hanging out
Yep.
there with the Seamus team, which Akbar was on our podcast. Man, this past year, I think sometime. Like, love what they're doing with their stuff, and so it was really cool to see their brand all over your product. But I guess it's again white labeled for them. So
Yeah.
tell us a little more about partnerships like that, and very familiar with the Sand Valley stuff. I got to go there last year, but tell us about working with folks like Seamus.
Yeah, so I met Akbar, at the Lido, and, we immediately hit it off. I don't know anybody that doesn't immediately hit it off with Akbar. Um,
Yeah,
and, he was talking about trying to expand and do some other things. He was a big fan of the transfusion. And so I told him, I'm like, "Well, let's just come up with a name and it can be your cocktail." And I think at the time he was considering having a brick and mortar in Portland. He's based in Oregon, um, and he knew, he worked at Bandon Dunes for years, so he knows the Kaisers really well. He's now the captain of Lido, and so he's very connected, obviously, within the golf space. And so yeah, he came up with the name the golf drink, and it allowed us to get into Oregon, right, and sell it within a new state because liquor laws don't allow you to just cross borders, right? Every state has their own regulations. So to us, it was kind of a no brainer. And then it allowed us also to get rid of some of our minimum orders, right? So if you are a new golf course and you want your transfusion or your vodka lemonade or whatever drink it is, you got to order a certain number because there's custom labels involved and all that kind of stuff. If you just want the golf drink because it's the same transfusion as you would be buying with your label on it, we can sell you one case if you want it. So to us, it made a lot of sense. For him, it's a new avenue to send out, marketing materials. Hey, send a 4-pack of transfusions out when you're trying to sell head covers or ball markers. You could see Robbie at the booth. It's a conversation starter. It works really well to have alcohol when you're trying to sell anything. So it was easy, and again, for us, like, we are not going to take your brand and then be able to dump a bunch of money behind it, right? So it's still up to the brand. It's still up to Akbar in this case and the golf drink. If he wants to go raise money, he could do it and put it behind this drink, and he's got it, the manufacturer and some distribution already set up. So that's sort of our proposal to brands. We're also working with Patrick Keegan from Field Day. So he's got one, but Patrick actually has a brick and mortar store in Illinois and sells 4 packs of vodka orange and vodka lemonade with his Field Day label on it. So for us, golf brands, I mean, there's so many strong golf brands right now, and it's not going to work for every single one, but it's another nice sort of add on to help get your name and your brand out there. So that's the approach that we've been taking with those kind of brands.
Is it vodka only, or could there be a best ball gin and tonic? Because
We
it's my
don't
drink
have
of
a
choice.
gin and tonic yet, so I'll give you
I know,
guys
I
a
saw that.
placeholder there. But we have about 9 recipes right now. We have a margarita with tequila. We have a Paloma. We have a Bloody Mary, transfusion, vodka orange, vodka lemonade. We just finished a John Daly, although we can't call it a John Daly, but
Yeah.
it's vodka and iced tea. So yeah, and then we have some folks that are like, we like the best ball gin and tonic. Some people that love a cocktail and their club has a famous, every club has some sort of famous cocktail, right? Interlaken, there was God, I forgot the name of it. I'm a member at Skokie Country Club, and there's the Mr. Happy, and I don't really know what's in it, but it's all alcohol, and, like, you get very happy after you drink one.
Wow.
Um, and so we can do that. Like, if someone comes to us and said, "Hey, we wanna have our signature cocktail mass produced," there's some research and development costs because we use a flavor house that we work with to come up with that recipe so we can mass produce it. Um, and after that, then it's kinda yours, right? That you'd have to give us permission to sell it to anyone else. So you can have a proprietary, best ball gin and tonic if you want.
So
I'm telling
you
you,
mentioned,
listen, gin and tonic in a
yeah,
can, count me in.
yeah. You mentioned sell to anybody else with that label. So are you then able, besides, the Seamus stuff, them buying it from you and then distributing or however, or Field
Mhm.
Day doing the same, like, are you able to sell those label things on your website as well?
No, so
And
we
they
can't
get
sell
credit for it?
anything. Yeah, we can't sell anything direct to consumer,
Okay.
because there's the three-tiered liquor system. So you have to go through a distributor. Um, because we no longer manufacture, we have a co-packer in Wisconsin that makes all of our drinks for us. So that allowed us to get rid of our liquor license, which then allowed us to open up our own distribution in Wisconsin, Michigan, and Minnesota, soon to be in some other states as well. In those states where we are not our own distributor, we use a third party distributor. It's real complicated and boring, and I'm sure your listeners don't care about it, but like, it's not as easy as just going on a website and buying something. Um, if a brand, we have been able to get the golf drink into golf courses, right? So if we're already selling to a golf course, or if we want to approach a golf course and they want to buy, like I said, a smaller quantity, or they love the golf drink, which we've had, we can sell them that. And then, yes, we share the revenue with the brand. And so we set up those kind of agreements ahead of time.
So if we come up
Are
with best
those,
ball gin and tonic, and then I ended up convincing the masters here in town that they need to sell it as well, that would just be a revenue
Mhm.
share. Is that what you're saying?
You would get the bulk of that revenue if you're able to get that into the masters. Yeah, we'd have a carve out in that contract.
That'd be
there you go.
awesome.
Um, you mentioned like the recipes and stuff like that. Are those then, I mean, because transfusion, like there might be a slight twist one club to the next, but are y'all able to take, you know, what you've made as a transfusion now, which I'm sure is incredibly good? Are you able to take that then and use it at other places, or are there certain people that say, no, this is our recipe, you can only use it for us?
Yeah, so the drinks that we already have that we offer to folks, we can use those at any course, right? Those are
Okay.
Blue Blazers proprietary recipes. And I am biased, but they are better than anything else that's out there. I don't know if you guys have tasted a lot of canned cocktails, but we do not have a medicinal taste. It doesn't smell weird. It's real alcohol, real ingredients. So yeah, we're very proud of those, and we're not going to give someone exclusivity on any of that stuff. Um, I shouldn't say
Okay.
anyone. If somebody massive wants it, and it makes sense, we're a business, so we'll figure it out. But if you all came
Yeah.
up with your own recipe and you pay for the research and development and all that kind of stuff, then it's yours. And without permission, we wouldn't sell to anybody else.
Gotcha. Well, you mentioned, you're not direct to consumer, but earlier you said something about crossing state lines, and I know there's, alcohol or liquor rules and regulations, which you as an attorney, I'm sure, have dug into all the cans and cannots there. But are y'all available to everybody in all the different states? Like if a club
No.
in this state, okay,
So we are working on that. And so for, the first 5 years or so, we were only in Wisconsin and Illinois. And there's no
That
golf
could be
here. Yeah, it's
that's
tough
like
to sell.
75% of all the drinking, though.
Yes, that is true. That is very true.
just put
Wisconsin, I
football
think.
things on some cans.
Exactly. But not the best place for a year-round golf business. And so we knew that getting into other states was, a priority. It's just not easy. Like there are a lot of things that go into it. Um, Government shutdowns don't help because you need the TTB to approve licenses. You need them to approve labels. When you are applying within a state, you quickly realize that there are several different agencies in every state that have to touch it. Um, it's just a mess, right? Like it is a mess from the 1930s. It has never really been fixed. So, like for example, in Oregon, there is the Oregon Liquor Commission. Great guys. It's all the guys that own liquor stores in Oregon. Like that's it. Like that's you. If you own a liquor store, then you're on this committee. I guess I don't know the details of it, but it's super antiquated. It's weird. Like I said, every state is different. There are some states where you have to sell directly to the state. They are your distributor. Those are called control states, and then there's others where you need a third party distributor. So it's not as easy. And when we were at the PGA show last year, we had folks from Idaho, and they were like, "Oh, we've got these great courses, great resorts." And they're like, "Can you sell to us?" It's like, "No." Like Idaho is not on our list, right? We need to be in southern states. So over the last 12 months, our CEO and I and some of the other folks at the company have been working on expanding. And so we were able to get into, we are now in 8 states, including Florida and Texas, soon to be Georgia. We're in New York and Michigan, Minnesota, Illinois, Wisconsin, Oregon, and we'll be in California as well. But for us,
Not South Carolina?
not South Carolina, although like I definitely know a lot of folks in South Carolina, so it's on the horizon for sure. And for us,
Alright.
that's what I was going to say. We don't need to be in every. We don't. We're not White Claw. We don't need to be in every course. We need the right kind of courses that understand, like, hey, this is a premium product. We cost about the same as a craft beer, so it's not you're not going to buy a can at a course of a Blue Blazer cocktail for $3. It's going to be like it's a real drink, and so it's not for everybody. But like you get the Sand Valleys and Cog Hill, and we just got Interlaken in Minnesota, and we've been working with Isleworth in Florida. Like we're in some really key courses, and we'd love to be in destination spots. Those are the best spots for us, right? So, Pinehurst would be great. All of the dream golf resorts is, that's our target. That's why when we went to Texas because they're opening one down there. We'll be in Colorado because of Rodeo Dunes. So we'll follow those guys wherever they wherever they allow us.
I'm
That's
just
awesome.
thinking if he's almost to Georgia, just let me know. I'll go start knocking on the gate and see who it is I need to talk to.
Okay, I'll take you up on that.
Yeah. So, is there competition in this space? Are there other white label liquor beverage companies out there that are doing this?
Not that I know of. There are definitely white label beers and wines. But I saw some booth at PGA show and it was a little confusing to me what they were doing, but it looked like they could do some custom labels. But it was, yeah, it was unclear. Um, there are a ton of canned cocktails, a ton of transfusions. There are transfusions machines that are being put into bars by Tito's. So that have like a self canning. They're like those clear sort of cans with a plastic top.
Yeah.
Um, I think like I said, there's gonna be the right customer for everybody. There's plenty of space. I think honestly, one thing we're looking at doing is doing more non-alcohol drinks. We're working with some celebrities. My real job, like I said, is more in that world. So having a cocktail for a singer or for an influencer or something like that is also something that we are able to do because of the white label. And every celebrity I've talked to that's under the age of 30 is not interested in alcohol. That's a real
Hmm.
thing. And so, adding like a liquid IV or electrolyte type component or collagen or whatever, the health fat is of the day is something that we are able to do. And that's another area that we're looking into rather than, just doubling down on transfusions.
That's awesome. Yeah, I mean, we talked to a number of people that are, I mean, especially lately, the NA scene, right? The non-alcoholic beverage scene is really blowing up. We've got a good friend a couple good friends are always on the hunt for like the next great one of those. So, it's definitely something to be paying attention to. So something excited to hear that you guys are pursuing. But yeah, as Jonathan said, if you need no influencers at all, there's Best Ball Gin and Tonic that he's ready to launch. So
Yeah, I love that.
Yeah.
um,
Yeah, I don't know about you guys. Like
yeah,
I can it depends on the round of golf, but like I'm not drinking in it during every round. The Lido is technically a dry
No.
course. Although people
okay,
break that rule. Um, but then there's other rounds where it's like, yeah,
yeah,
okay, this is gonna be a not an NA round. It'll be a with a round.
yeah,
So um
yeah.
yeah, I mean I think alcohol is not going away. And I think some of the research that we've done has shown that uh, younger people are just getting into drinking later, right? I think the pandemic kind of stunted people for a lot of things, and people don't have the income to go out and buy alcohol, or they're still living at home, or whatever it is. And so it's like instead of marketing towards 21-year-olds, you see alcohol companies marketing towards 30-year-olds because now they have the disposable
Yeah.
income and they're able to buy drinks easier.
Well, I think the one thing that stands out about the way you're doing it with the white label piece is, and we always talk about this, like people quickly forget their scores and the scores of what their friend shot, but it's all about more the experience, the relationships you have out there. And I just think for a course's perspective, it adds to the experience when you can pick up and see a custom branded thing for the course, the resort, wherever special place that you get to play that day. And it just adds to that overall experience value. And it's the little things, right? Picking up custom teas or now even
Yeah,
custom beverages, right? So I think what you guys are doing is really cool.
thank you. Yeah, I mean, I think that was the takeaway once we sort of figured out, oh, golf works. Is that literally, like I said, everything at a golf course is got the logo on it. From the towels to the toilet paper, there's there's something that has the course's logo on it, and why not put and again, you got to be proud of the product, right? So
Sure.
I think people that taste our drinks they're like, yeah, this will work for us. So again, not
Yeah.
for everybody, but we're not looking for mass market. We just need we just need a
I mean,
like
step
10,
one, you got
10
to get
and
into the right states, and
yeah,
yeah,
exactly. So, I mean, it's alright. We're already seeing the benefit of that. The PGA show again for us this year was great. I didn't realize that people really like expect to make orders while they're there. And so we were a
Oh
little more
yeah,
set up this year. And so, yeah, first day got a great course in Palm Beach, Florida. So, it's, yes, and they can order all year round, which is nice.
that is really
Well,
nice.
and when you think about it, you mentioned it's not necessarily the how many drinks, you're not going to go out and pound, five, six, seven of them every 9 holes, but it is nice to have a signature drink. I just played at Chichesi. They have a signature cocktail and they have their own
Yep.
little clear thing and they make the can off the top. I thought it was really cool. I didn't have one. I had a long drink, but that's just more of a preference of what I choose to drink. And so to be able to be at a course and to have the signature, you talk about destination places. I mean, I've gone
Yeah.
places with destination and I still got like cocktail napkins
Yeah.
of the logo because it's like, hey, I went here. I've got a bottle of water from Champions Retreat because I got to go play golf and it's an unopened
Yep.
bottle sitting on my golf display where all my other golf stuff is. So
Yep.
if I had a cool logo on a can of whatever, I'd throw that up there on the display.
Absolutely. I also think that, with Sand Valley, I've talked to them because there's so many people that, obviously it's one of the best destination courses in the world. And I've had so many people be like, oh, I've had their transfusion, without knowing what I do. And I'm like, "Oh, yeah, that's
Right.
my company." And then they automatically like, "Well, I want that." "Well, how do I get that?" Or how do I get the sandbox transfusion, which is what they call it at Sand Valley, when I'm not there? And I've
Right.
talked to the Kaisers about that. I'm like, "Hey, we could put this in, grocery stores, liquor stores, and you're gonna sell it." They're not interested. They want it to be,
Right.
"While I'm here, this is what I have," and makes perfect sense. But there'll be somebody, there'll be a course out there, I'm pretty sure, that is like, "Yeah, I wanna mass market this," and we're talking to some now, so we'll see how that goes.
Yeah, well, I mean, for Sand Valley, they want that as part of the experience. Like you can only get this here, so you gotta come.
Yep,
Go get
exactly.
your dollar tacos from Craig's Porch, and then come grab a
That's it.
transfusion.
That's it.
Man, what a day! I got to go to Sand Valley back in September for the first time, and it was incredible.
Yeah,
So love that place.
yeah, I built a house up there just because it's my
Did
favorite
you
place.
really? Nice.
Yeah, yeah. So I was just there with my kids this last weekend in the winter.
All
It's a
right.
good getaway for sure.
Now we know where to stay next time, Jonathan.
You got
Right,
it.
exactly. I'll
Very
trade
nice.
you out.
Well,
Whenever you come
yeah.
to the Masters, I got a place you can stay.
Okay. All right. I'll take
That's
you.
real, by the way.
I literally just got invited, so I might be hitting you up, Jonathan.
When are you going? When are you coming?
I don't know. It depends. We're trying to. It's a long story, but I'm trying to get our drinks in, to a party, not on Augusta, but like there's a
Right.
big party that's nearby. So,
We can we can talk about it afterwards.
yeah, 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 that's a
Yeah,
off podcast.
Off
that'd be great.
podcast conversation. But Jonathan does though. I mean, we're 150 something episodes into this thing, and every
Yep.
single person the offer has gone out to. If you come to Augusta, you guys have a place to stay, and he is. People have taken him up on that. So
We've got
Okay.
5 people so far.
yeah, yeah, it'll be good.
Uh,
Well, let's talk about golf again and your golf game. And the question
okay.
we ask all our guests, and again, because we love golf stories, and we want to hear the story of your most memorable golf shot.
Okay. Well, I mean, there've been so many, but I think the most memorable one that will probably stay with me for a long time was a horrible shot. Can
Perfect.
I do two? Can I do two shots?
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Because they coincide. So I went on a buddy's trip to Scotland last year, and we're playing St Andrews, and it is 40 degrees maybe, and 40-mile-an-hour winds. Caddies are like, "You guys are idiots. What are you doing out here?" Um, Nobody in their right mind would be playing, but we had to, obviously, and so we're playing, and we get to 17, and I had been playing horribly and, crying along the way because it was like this was my one time to play, and it's into a hurricane. But I striped a drive over the hotel, and I had like, I don't know, 70 yards in and made birdie.
Wow.
That's
Yeah,
a
felt
heck of a
felt great. It
drive.
was wind aided. I told you it was 40-mile-an-hour
Okay.
wind,
All
so it
right.
was behind us. And then, 18 comes up and I'm feeling really good about myself. And there's a crowd around on the street, like on the path that's right there,
Yeah.
the road hole. And I topped my drive and it went through the creek. I don't know how it made it over the creek, right? There's that little creek that's only
Yeah.
like
Yeah.
100 yards out. I think it was so much topspin on it that it topped and then went over and, so everybody laughed at me, and then one of my playing partners who was right after me did the exact same thing. So, that was something where it's like, man, this is, I just came off this great hole and then I completely screwed up 18, but I'll never forget it.
Yeah.
That's
Hey,
the
and you
story of
played the old
golf.
course, which a ton of people can't say that. So
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
yeah,
So,
yeah. Well,
yeah.
that's awesome.
Those are
That is
great.
awesome.
It's funny that
Thanks.
they're back to back. That's
Yeah.
the best
Yeah,
part
I mean,
about
that's golf,
golf.
right? It's the
Right.
highs and lows. You feel like, "Oh, man, I got this figured out," and then, yeah, just top to drive. Anyway.
Yep.
Well, another thing we like to do is what we call the quick nine, just a little back and forth, a little rapid fire.
Alright.
This might be the answer. What is the favorite course that you've ever played?
Oakmont.
Nice.
Yeah. Last
Was
year, played it for the first time. I had a great golf year last year. Played Oakmont last year, and it was amazing.
Sounds like it.
That's awesome. Well, maybe you've played everything. What course is at the top of your bucket list?
I mean, Augusta, right? Like, everybody has to
Right.
say Augusta, and I
What's your
feel like
second
I'm
pick?
like, second pick, I think, I think Pebble. I know, and
Okay.
that's doable, right? But I've been there and never been able to play, so I'd love to play there.
Okay. Do you have
Good
a? Do you have
choices.
a? I'm gonna keep going down this rabbit hole here.
Yeah,
Do you have a favorite course at Sand Valley? Okay,
I
everybody
mean
likes to rank
Lido.
them. Lido. Okay.
Lido is, yeah. I mean Lido's just a special place. It's just different.
Yeah.
You don't feel like you're in Wisconsin.
No,
Not
not
that
at all.
Wisconsin's a bad place to be in, but like it's not like any other course I've played.
Yeah, I loved it.
All right. What is your favorite course that no one knows about?
Superior National in Lutsen, Minnesota. Have you guys ever heard of that one?
No.
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 Yeah. So, okay, so that's a good answer then. So it's 45 minutes north of Duluth. And if you know where Duluth is, it's you're in Canada, basically.
Right.
You can
Yeah,
play there for maybe 4 months of the year. That it is not in good shape even during those 4 months. I mean, it's not bad, but like there are rivers that run through the course with rapids. You've got elevation that's crazy where you're teeing off and you see Lake Superior. You're in the middle of like a pine forest. It's awesome. And it's like there's nobody ever there. Um, so yeah, that's one of my favorite places.
that's great. That sounds like
Sounds
a
good.
great road trip.
Right.
Yeah.
Who'd be in your dream foursome?
Oh man, that's a good question. Um, these are like just people I know, or these famous people, or just anybody?
Whoever.
Anybody.
It's your dream.
It's your foursome.
Oh man. Okay. Well, I'll be like sappy and say my grandfather who passed away before I was born because he wasn't a good golfer from what I heard, but it would just be awesome to play with him. Um, I guess I got to say my son because he's in the other room. So, you know, I got to do that.
How old is he?
He's 13. Um,
Okay.
and he's like just getting into it. He's still not, the
Nice.
attention span isn't necessarily there. Um, And then, I mean, I think I have to say Tiger Woods because it was like
Well,
he was a hero, and I know it's just an obvious it's not obvious, but it's like, yeah, I think the best golfer of all time, so I would love to play with him.
That'd be fun.
sound like a fun group. All right.
Yeah.
What has been your favorite snack at the turn?
Uh, the sausage sandwich at Sunningdale in London. You guys familiar with that
Ooh,
one?
I'm
It's
not.
like
Familiar
it's
with
a
the
what
course? Yes.
yeah, so they've got this awesome little house that's been there since the course was, I think, I don't know all the history of it, but it's old. And it's like white bread and a fried sausage with some sort of mustard. It looks kind of unappealing, but it's great. And it's like a grill that's been there for 200 years or something. So it's got all that flavor in it.
Perfect.
And you literally sit
Yeah.
down, they give you actual plate, like you sit down. Not for a long time, but like you sit down and you have that and a pint, it's pretty good.
I'm in.
Man, yeah. Add that to the list. I kept bragging to Jonathan. He was not able to join me at Sand Valley. I was bragging to him about all the amazing food options there at the
Yeah.
tournament. From again, Craig's Porch to like the Italian beef on
Yep.
like the hoagie roll and the sauce. Like, oh, so
That's
good.
a place. So that shack on that's on Sedge, right?
Yeah.
The Italian beef. Yeah,
Yep.
that is a play on Sunnydale. Like that whole
Okay.
shack and experience is that's what I heard. That's a rumor at least that's what they were kind of going for. But yeah, the Italian beef is good. They got those little meat pies that
Yeah.
are great. Yeah, Sam Valley, they know what they're doing with the food and
All for a
beverage.
dollar.
Yeah.
That's the way to do it. That's an experience maker there too.
Yep. Everybody
Yeah,
remembers that.
Yep.
killing me.
All right. What's your favorite golf course logo?
I mean, the Lido's good because of the way, it's got the siren in it, and I kinda like that. I'm trying to think of a unique one. Again, the Sunnydale, the tree on Sunnydale, you got it's just simple, big tree, you know exactly what it is when you see it. So, those 2, but I have a horrible memory, so there's probably a million others that I'm forgetting, but those are 2 that
Yeah.
come to mind.
Those are two good choices. All right. What has been your favorite pro shop purchase?
Hmm, another good question. Um, Man, Oakmont's pro shop's pretty good. It's, they're used to having majors, and so they get a lot of merchandise ahead of time. They probably had the best selection of clothing, like logoed clothing, with just they got the O, for their logo, but then they've got a squirrel, and the squirrel I got a squirrel hoodie that was good. Carnoustie actually had a really good Carnoustie's pro shop was great too. And I think I got a winter hat because it was so freezing, so that was a great purchase.
I love it. All right. What is one thing golfers should do?
Play fast. I think
And
honestly, like
a
it
great
doesn't
answer. Yeah.
matter. Yeah, I think if you are good, there's no reason not to play fast. If you are bad, you need to play fast. And I'm not saying you got to run around, and be out of breath. But just have that awareness, and especially like as a caddy, man, there's just nothing worse than caddying for slow players. And so that's just been ingrained in me since I was a little kid.
If you're
Nice.
picking around, what's the time? What's a good time if you're out walking 18?
I mean, that it depends. It depends on the situation. Lido, I have played 18 with a foursome in under 3 hours. And that's rare because that experience is rare. Like on member days, there's just nobody there, right? So there's really no
Yeah.
reason. You're playing with 4 good players, you can zip around there real easy. I think under 4 hours at most country clubs is doable if you're on a resort or a public. Like, man,
Mhm.
try to keep it under 4 hours and 20
Yeah.
minutes.
Yeah.
Yeah, I agree.
Hey, quick question before Jonathan asks the last one here. Have you played with Hickories from Clark there at Lido?
I've hit them. I have not played a full round with them. There's a few members there that swear by, that they'll play full rounds, and
Yeah.
I don't. I don't think I'm good enough for that. But they they're fun, and yeah, Clark's the best. Clark is now going to be head pro at Rodeo Dunes, so we
I
will
know.
we will miss him out at Sand Valley, but
I heard. No,
I'm excited for him.
we had him on the podcast earlier this year. He was awesome.
He's the nicest guy in the world.
All right. Last question here. Finish this sentence. The best part of golf is.
Mm. I think the best part of golf is the people you play with, because I think it's like I said again, everything kind of goes back to caddying for me. It's just like you can learn how to just be a good human on a golf course. There's so many different opportunities for it, or you can be a really rotten person also. And so I think that if you are listening and you take in everything, you just meet all different types of people, from grounds crew to the caddies to the other people you're playing with. Um, it's just a kind of great snapshot of life in my opinion. So it's like, yeah, it's the experience, being competitive with yourself and, you against the elements and all that, that's all part of it. But I really think it's like the experience that you have is with the people that you're with.
Amen to that.
Yep.
Josh, this has been fun, man. Tell everybody where they can learn more about Blue Blazer.
Our website is drinkblueblazer.com. Um, we have an Instagram. Everything is Drink Blue Blazer. So if you look it up, you'll find it. Again, we are not a consumer facing brand, so you're not going to see us on the shelves, but you may see us at a course without knowing it, and that means that's good for us. So, yeah. But any information you need is on that website.
Very nice. Do you have a favorite beverage that you guys make?
I mean, transfusion is my favorite, and like
That's
I
your
never
favorite.
was a big transfusion drinker, but it's really good. But the new vodka tea lemonade combo, it's really good. You could drink 5 of those, like, easy.
Very nice. Well, good stuff. Josh, this has been a lot of fun, man. We really appreciate you coming on.
Thank you so much. It's been fun for
Yeah.
me too.
Yeah. Well, for Josh and Jonathan, this is Robbie, and y'all have been listening to another episode of the Whole Story Podcast.